Welcome back to Messy Church. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying school. I want to say a big hello to Lily, Lexi, Archer, Kendra and Emily, Olivia and Leyland, Cameron, Lily, Maddo, Elizabeth, Patrick, James, and Bella, along with anyone else out there who may be watching. I hope everyone is well and happy. Today we're going to talk about a fellow from back in Jesus' time whose name was Bartimaeus. He lived back many, many years ago when Jesus used to go from town to town teaching about God. But first, before we talk about Bartimaeus, I have a few questions and some things I want to tell you, okay? First off, this here, isn't this a beautiful bouquet of flowers? Of course, everybody knows yellow is my favorite. So these are really pretty flowers. But can you imagine how it would be if you were never able to see beautiful things like these flowers? The gift of sight, which means that you're able to see things, is one of the very precious gifts that God gives us. The second thing I wanted to mention is, have any of you been around or seen a baby recently? Do any of you remember when you were a baby? Well, I'm going to tell you some things about babies that I know. One thing I know about babies is that they are not shy when it comes to letting you know what they need. Sometimes, if they're hungry or they're thirsty, they're sick or they're tired or they need a diaper changed, they will let you know. And do you know how they do that? You're right, they can't talk. But how do you think they do let us know what they want? You're right. Again, babies will let you know what they need by crying or making loud noises. Babies don't care if you're in church or you're at a movie or you're eating dinner in a restaurant. If they need something, they'll tell you by crying or making the noises. But we got to remember, as we get older, we learn to talk and use our words to tell people what we need. And we're able to tell people quietly what we want or need. Or at least most people do ask for things or tell things without shouting. So now I'm going to tell you the story from the Bible about Bartimaeus. Now Bartimaeus was a man, a blind man, which meant he couldn't see. And he lived a long, long time ago. And he couldn't even work or have a job way back then. So he used to sit on the side of the road asking people going by to give him help by giving him some food or money, because he was blind, so he couldn't see to do a lot of things. And way back then we didn't have all the special stuff we have now to help people that are blind or have disabilities. Well, one day Bartimaeus was sitting on the side of the road, hoping someone would stop and help him, when he heard a large crowd of people coming up the road towards him. He asked some people what was happening, and they told him that Jesus was going to be walking by. You see, Jesus used to travel from town to town visiting people and teaching them about God the Father. And Jesus helped people who needed help. Bartimaeus had heard of Jesus and about how he healed many people who, for example, were maybe blind or crippled. So Bartimaeus started calling out to Jesus. He called, "Jesus, have mercy on me." All the other people in the crowd were standing by Bartimaeus. They yelled at him to be quiet because they were trying to hear the things Jesus was saying. They wanted to hear what Jesus was going to say, but Bartimaeus just shouted louder. He yelled, "Teacher, I want to see you." When Jesus heard Bartimaeus calling, he stopped and he asked Bartimaeus to come over and to see him. So Bartimaeus managed to get up and go over to see Jesus. Now Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" And Bartimaeus answered, "I want to be able to see." Jesus looked at him, touched him on the head, and he said, "Go, your faith has healed you." And right away, Bartimaeus could see everything. He was no longer blind. He followed Jesus down the road. Now, you might wonder, if Jesus could make Bartimaeus see again, why are there still lots of people that are still blind or have other problems in the world right now that we live in? Well, I can tell you a story about a lady from quite a while ago, how she felt about this. This lady that I read about, her name was Fanny. She had lost her sight when she was just a little baby. So when she was first born, she could see, but then after she was only a few months old, she couldn't see anymore. Fanny never complained about being blind. Instead, she had a wonderful life using the other gifts that God had given her. Now, do you wonder what those gifts were? Well, the special gift that God had given her and she was really good at was writing poetry. She could write poems and songs. In fact, she wrote over 8,000 poems in her lifetime. That's a lot of poems and songs. Well, one day, a minister came along to Fanny, and he said, "I think it is a great pity that God did not give you sight when he gave you so many other gifts, like the gifts to write poems and songs." But Fanny replied, she said it was okay to be blind because God had given her other gifts, like being able to do the poems that she was really good at, and it made her feel good. The minister asked her why she was okay with being blind. Fanny replied, because she believed in God. She replied, "When I get to heaven, the first face that my blind eyes will see is the face of Jesus." So we have learned that some people like Bartimaeus will see the gift of sight. But some other people like Fanny are blind their entire life. During our time on earth, lots of people will have struggles and problems. But the one thing that is certain that we know of is that when we get to heaven, we will all get to see Jesus. We also have learned that it was a good thing that Bartimaeus did not listen to the people that told him to be quiet. This doesn't mean that we should go out shouting all the time and making a ruckus. All it means is that we need some help, we should let others know that we need help, just like Bartimaeus did. But we can do it by using our words in a nice way. We can call out to Jesus by saying our prayers, and we will all know how important we are to Jesus and that he wants to help us. We must remember that God gives us what we need and not always what we want. Because sometimes we want all kinds of things that we really don't absolutely have. We want all kinds of fancy stuff and that, but we really don't need that. We need to remember the things that we need are the ways we treat other people and take care of others and ourselves. Fanny had great talents, like writing poems, even though she couldn't see, but her faith in God she felt would let her see him when she went to heaven. So we just got to remember from this lesson that if we keep our prayers and our faith, which means our belief in God, and treat others fairly and take care of ourselves and try our best to do our best, in the end, we will always be happy. Okay, so now we're going to do the repeat after me prayer. Are you ready? Repeat after me. Dear God, thank you for Jesus, who helps us to see that we are important to you and that you want to help us. Thank you, God, for all your love. Amen. Okay, so, and from the craft thing here, we can see I have a picture here of Bartimaeus, them helping Bartimaeus to go see Jesus. And when he gets to Jesus, Jesus touches his head, heals him so he can see, and tells him because of his faith, he will see forever. Go, Jesus said to him, your faith has healed you. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some crafts. Today the crafts are... I have a picture of Bartimaeus, and I've kind of got it started here right now, so I'll show it to you. You're going to get this picture, and it won't have any color. It'll just be the grays and colors. But you can color in his scarf on his head and everything. And the words here say, Jesus healed Bartimaeus, okay? And you'll notice his eyes are just look like they're closed. That's representing the fact that in this picture, Bartimaeus is blind. So you can color Dan. I colored his mouth. You can color his beard and everything if you want. I didn't do it all, but you guys can go ahead and do it. And you can cut it out if you like as well and hang it up somewhere. But what we're going to do after you get it colored is I've given you 2 eyes. I forgot my scissors. So anyways, I've given you 2 eyes. So you're just going to cut the eye out and glue it in the right places. The 2 eyes, okay? And once you cut the eye, I forgot my scissors, so I'll have to do it this way. So you've got the 2 eyes and you glue them on, okay? And that shows you Bartimaeus is blind, but when you glue the eyes on, Jesus has made him see, okay? So that's all you have to do for that craft. So it's pretty easy. Now, the next craft is not really a craft, it's already all done for you, but it's called the Secret Viewer. And because we're talking about not being able to see and that kind of thing, I thought this would be a fun thing. This is the Secret Viewer, and it's a piece of construction or cardstock with red cellophane, like you wrap up gift baskets in. And I've gone ahead on here and I've made the page into 2, 4, 6, 8 squares, rectangles, and underneath all this scribble are some words or some pictures. And what you're going to do is you're going to place it on the table, and then you're going to take your card thing and you're going to pick one of the squares and lay it right on top. And all of a sudden, you'll be able to read what the words are under all that scribble. And then if you move it down or across, there'll either be words or pictures, okay? So it's just a fun thing to do. Some people that I've done this with before think it's magic, but I don't know if you can see that. But this one here says, love others. But you can't tell that from looking there. But when you put that right on top of there and put it right up against the paper, it works really well, okay? So that's the Secret Viewer that I've made, and everybody's got one in their craft kit, so they don't have to do anything with that, okay? And then this one is also one that I already did for you. It's just a little kind of a toy for you to play with. On the top it says, I once was blind, but now I see. And what it is it's Bartimaeus' face, and to show that he's blind, his eyes are covered with like a bandage. But when you put it on the table and you just press it with your finger very gently, it goes down, and now, if you can see that, Bartimaeus has eyes, he can see, okay? So Bartimaeus once was blind, and now he can see, okay? So that's just a neat little thing that you can show your moms and dads and that, how this little thing works, okay? And just be gentle with it, because it's just made with paper, so it can't be used rough to it. You just got to press very gently. And so you pull it up, we got the bandages, and then you just slowly push it down, and there's his eyes, okay? So that's the Bartimaeus block, okay? So that's the 3 things that I made for you. It's pretty easy crafts this time, because this one was kind of a hard one to come up with crafts. But I think if you get Bartimaeus' picture all colored and cut it out and hang it up somewhere, it'll remind you of how God can help us with things that we don't necessarily have or that we're having trouble with. Okay, so I hope you have fun with the crafts and the 2 little games I gave you. And I like hearing from you, so remember to get in touch with me, and we can, have a little chat, or you can show me your crafts. I hope you've enjoyed our time together today. May God bless all of you. I hope that you're enjoying school now that you guys are back in school, or that you're enjoying homeschooling if you're still at home. Remember, everybody, all you guys out there, please be good, help your parents, get along with your brothers and sisters, and take care of yourselves. I miss you all, and I look forward to having Messy Church in person again at the church, including our nice meals and games, when we're sure it's safe for us to be together again. I don't know when that will be. It probably won't be till sometime next year, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to have a really nice get-together when we can do that. You can FaceTime me, or you can call me. You can send me a picture to let me know how you're doing, or you can show me how your crafts have turned out. Say hello to your parents, and I hope everyone is doing well. So bye for now, and we'll see you at next Messy Church. Oh, and by the way, next Messy Church is going to be it's going to be the end of November, and it's going to be a Christmas theme. So we'll probably be doing some neat Christmas crafts and decorations. So there'll be a lot more crafts for you to do at the next one. That should be lots of fun to do. I'm just working on some now. So anyways, and I'm going to try and remember to put in the Advent wreath, and everybody remembers to put their flames on top of the for each candle for each Sunday in December. Anyways, have a great day, and I hope everybody's enjoying themselves, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.